Coming up, singing for a cause, how Iowa City is finding new ways to fight against violence.
And later, a look at Iowa City's farmers market, how residents got to spend their weekend. Plus, summer temperatures today, cloudy skies tomorrow. I'll have your full weather forecast coming up.
All that and more.
Coming up right now on DITV.
Good morning from Iowa City. It is Monday, May 4th. I'm Kayla Smith.
And I'm Ryan Lynch.
And the third member of our team, Liz Schultz, is live outside to tell us today's forecast.
How are things looking for this last week of classes, Liz?
Hey, yeah, Ryan, Kayla, good morning. What a gorgeous way to start off the last week of classes. Now I'm here outside the Pentacrest, where it is about 63 degrees this morning. Very sunny, as you can see. But taking a look at temperatures later on, it's going to be a pretty sunny day overall with a high of about 84 degrees, and students are already on their way to class this morning enjoying those temperatures. We might see some scattered thunderstorms in the evening, and tomorrow we've got quite the transition. Chillier temperatures heading into cloudy skies with a high of 60 and about a low of 39 degrees. But like I said, very up and down this week, but us seniors, including myself, are certainly looking forward to enjoying the last week of classes. Kayla?
Thanks, Liz. And downtown Iowa City was filled with singing, clapping, and chanting this weekend. DITV's Annika Perez listened to the music and has an inside look at how community members are fighting violence with singing.
This May 1st, community organizers held a singing vigil to commemorate the members of the Iowa City community lost to ICE and the victims of the recent April 19th shooting.
And this performance comes at the hope that people will come for the beauty and stay for the message, a message against violence in Iowa City.
The songs featured themes of love, defiance, and sorrow for those lost to community violence. As well as singing, participants were handed flowers during the event to remember those lost to ICE. Participants also brought signs to further their message of a strong community.
You know, people that deserve to be here, people that belong in our community. And I think being here, you know, with these people as one, you know, one kind of unit against that was really powerful. So
speakers at the event shared their stories and preached a call to action of abolishing ICE and stopping violence in the community.
We are here, the immigrants from Latin America, from Africa, from Asia. We are here and we are going to be here. And no matter what, love is going to win.
Although violence has shook Iowa City's community, these organizers are hoping to unite them through song and peaceful protest. From downtown Iowa City, Annika Perez, DITV.
An Iowa City man is still in jail after a judge reversed a decision to release him before trial. 25-year-old Fernando Gomez Zelaya is facing charges of sexual abuse with a child under 12 from alleged incidents in 2019. Initially, he was to be released while awaiting trial with electronic monitoring, but that decision was reversed after immigration authorities placed a hold on Zelaya. This means local law enforcement can hold him past his expected release date while the Department of Homeland Security works to take custody of him. The judge set a $10,000 bond, which will only apply if that immigration hold is lifted.
And one person has been forced out of their home after a devastating fire. The Iowa City Fire Department responded to a fire on Crosby Lane just after 4 p.m. Thursday. Flames and smoke were coming out of the front door of the home when they arrived at the scene. Emergency crews put out the flames in the basement in just 10 minutes. Luckily, no one was hurt, but the damages are estimated at around $50,000.
And the Iowa legislative session is officially over after over 30 hours of negotiations just this weekend.
That's why we have DITV's Anshika Gura live in the newsroom with a huge bill that's just now being sent to Governor Kim Reynolds. Anshika?
Yes, Kayla and Ryan. The legislative session was supposed to end on April 21st, but instead it ended last night. That's 2 weeks of overtime for our legislators. We saw hours worth of negotiations this weekend, but a huge focus was on the property tax relief bill. It finally passed last night. This bill looks to deliver over $4 billion worth of tax relief over the next 6 years. It'll cap the annual increases that local government can make to some property taxes at 2%. There will be some exceptions. And Governor Kim Reynolds has been seeing a lot of bills crossing her desk this last week, some of which she signed into law. Here are a few of them. Reynolds signed a bill on greenhouse gas emissions limiting both civil and criminal liability for any impact on the environment from said emissions. She also signed a bill that removes some higher education programs from Iowa Code, like the College Bound program, which helps lower-income minority students enroll in college. We'll have to wait and see which of the recently passed bills will get the seal of approval from Reynolds. Reporting live from the newsroom on Chicagura, DITV.
Iowa City is using film to spark conversation and connection in a divided time. Many came together for a 3-day event centered on the power of storytelling. DITV's On Chicagura has the full story on how this event used films to bridge divides and build community.
The 3-day event called Cinematic Connections explored how films can bring people together despite their differences. In a time where divisions and conflict often dominate, this event shifted the focus to empathy, understanding, and human connections.
Stereotypes across these communities can be deconstructed.
Co-organized by Dennis Phillips and Elk Heckner, the event brought together different voices to bridge cultural and social divides.
To be respectful and keep conversations going.
International speakers, including guests from Argentina, added global perspectives to the conversation. Discussion also explored the impact of Hollywood, Bollywood, and international cinema, and how these industries can both shape and challenge stereotypes.
Early Jewish stars played in early Indian film and what would become Bollywood.
Cross-cultural collaboration in films can break down long-standing biases. The event aimed to create a space where communities
Initial platform for rethinking critical construction of stereotypes, of getting a process of change.
Where communities could come together using cinema as a tool for connection and change. Attendees say they left with a better understanding of different perspectives and a stronger sense of community. From Old Capitol Mall on Chicagura, DITV.
Kayla, the weather's been getting warm. It's been great to see everyone in Iowa City heading back outside.
That is totally right, Ryan, and that is why we have DITV's Kenna Murdas with an inside look on the opening season for a super fun outdoor Iowa City tradition. Kenna?
Kayla, Ryan, I'm here at Washington Street where this past weekend they had the first farmers market of the season. People gather for festivities and to come together as a community. Let's take a look.
Community members flocked the Chauncey Swan parking lot in the 400 block of Washington Street from 7 a.m. to noon, gathering for festivities and a place to come together as a city.
These are really, really good for just in general bringing people together, and I think there's a good sense of community that comes from things like this. So.
The market has numerous stands of local community shops. The shops include food, art, and plants for customers to buy and check out.
For everybody, it's not just strictly buying bricks necessarily.
Members were able to enjoy the music, weather, and gathering with their friends and family. Iowa City community members can look forward to the annual Saturday morning festivities for the next few months, with its partaking from May 2nd to October 31st.
Really? We should get that. The farmers market was definitely a great way to start off the weekend and to start off the spring and summer season. I'm so happy I got to join and partake in some of the activities, and I definitely recommend people partaking as well. But with the weather being so nice this past weekend, what is the weather going to look like for the future? Is it going to continue to get warmer?
Yeah, Kenna, the rest of this week looks pretty cloudy with chillier temperatures, but that means we've got some warmer temperatures on the horizon. Now, taking a look at Wednesday, we've got another chilly day with cloudy skies, a high of 59 and low of 40. And Thursday, those clouds aren't going away. We've got a windy day with highs in the upper 60s and lows in the upper 40s. Now, Friday, another scooch up with a high of 68 and a low of 44. And Saturday gives us more hope of warmth with the high of 75, another breezy day with a low of 48. And to end the week, Sunday shows a high of 72 in the upper 40s. Now, as a graduating senior, I'm certainly looking forward to the last week of classes. But for now, I'm going to toss it back to Ryan and Kayla. I'm live from the Pentacrest, Liz Schultz, DITV.
And coming up, we're going to be seeing In the Zone, their final show of the year. They're going to have updates from Critical May Series for Iowa softball and baseball with some results from Iowa track and field and rowing, as well as your top 5 plays of the week. But thank you again so much for joining us online or listening on KRUI 89.7 FM.
We're here live from Iowa City every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:30 a.m. and online anytime at dailyiowan.com.
And for all of us here, happy Monday. We will be right back for In the Zone after the break.
May the 4th be with you.
Happy 20th anniversary, DITV. I'm Maximilian Von Dries, and I'm a DITV alumni from the class of 2024. While at DITV, I was a sports reporter covering all Hawkeye athletics and creating news packages and also anchoring at DITV. I learned a lot from DITV, and I loved my time at DITV because it taught me so much. It gave me hands-on experience that I now use even to this day with my current job here at University of Iowa Healthcare as a creative media developer. DITV is a special place where not only do you get lots of great hands-on experience, but you form lots of bonds and friendships with other journalism students that are just wanting to get in front of the camera or even behind the camera and wanting to get lots of great experience. So again, happy 20th anniversary to DITV. I hope you all are doing so well, and I watch every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so keep up the great work.
It looks good. It's just that monitors and the shuttle.
Hello everyone and welcome to DITV Sports In the Zone, our final of the 2026 spring semester. I'm Colin Carruthers.
And I'm Morgan Burhans. We're going to run through everything from this past weekend in Iowa athletics.
You know, we absolutely are. Let's go ahead and get started with our final In the Zone with some baseball action.
For sure. Let's do it, Colin. The Iowa baseball team has surely been heating up as they have now won 10 of their last 13 games. This weekend, the Hawkeyes took on their Big Ten foe, Illinois, and continued their success on the series. On Friday, the Iowa destroyed the Fighting Illini 9-3. It was Iowa's batting that propelled them to the win with 14 total hits compared to Illinois' 7.
Now, Saturday was a different story. The game went back and forth, but the Hawkeyes just barely clinched the win, beating Illinois 6-5. It was Jason Frost with a 3-run homer that helped the Hawks get the early lead and go on to win the game.
And Sunday definitely did not go to the Hawks' way as they fell in a series finale 2-6. Illinois struck first with a 3-run homer from Colin Jennings in the second and another home run in the third, putting the Hawkeyes at 4-0. Iowa slowly tagged along a couple of runs in the third and the eighth, but not enough to ever climb into the lead. It was slow bats in Sunday's matchup and strong defense from Illinois that forced them to lose 2-6. Despite the loss, head coach Rick Heller is confident in the way his group is playing and what they can do come tournament season.
We've been doing that at a pretty high rate lately, and that needs to continue. We've been in attack mode, killer mode, and just relentless at-bats.
The Hawkeyes will have one last home game on Tuesday against St. Thomas before they take on a strong Nebraska team this weekend.
Yeah, that'll be a really tough season. Obviously, baseball, solid weekend, Morgan.
For sure, 100%, Colin. And yeah, despite yesterday, they absolutely did very well. But the Iowa softball team was also at home with a series that held so much more weight.
No, it absolutely did, Morgan. They were battling for the final spot in the Big Ten tournament. It's the top 12 teams that make it. It was between them and Minnesota. And the two had the same record in conference play entering the series, with the edge going to the Gophers since they won that series with Iowa earlier this year. So to make it in Stacey May Johnson's first year, they needed a strong performance against Purdue.
For sure.
So we start on Friday with Iowa taking on Purdue, obviously. Purdue was actually the team that got on the board first with a homer from Anna Moore, the second batter in the order. She's a freshman star. But
wow.
Iowa did not only return the favor, they opened up the floodgates, pouring on 6 runs in the first inning alone. A hefty lead there, but it didn't hold on for too long. Purdue would claw back and end up hitting a 3-run homer to tie things up in the 4th inning at 6 apiece. We've got ourselves a ball game in game 1 of this year as we get to the final inning. 8-7, 1-game lead, bases loaded, 2 outs. This is what dreams are made of. Purdue puts one in the gap, it lands, and they're going to bring around a few runs, take the lead, but hold up, everyone. In the dugout for Iowa is Devin Bowman and Anna Streff, and they're calling it out. They notice that the runner on third left before the pitch. They review it, and that is what signals Stacey May Johnson to challenge it. They get it overturned. They win Game 1 of the series. They move in the 12th over Minnesota. We go a little bit later to Minnesota versus Northwestern to see how they're doing, if they can move back ahead of the Hawkeyes. Northwestern is ranked 6th in the Big Ten standings going into this weekend, and they showed it on Friday. They took a 4-1 lead and would end up holding on to a 5-1 lead after that one got off the glove of the first baseman, winning that game. So Iowa's got a 1-game lead going into Saturday's action. Again, against Purdue, Braylon Conlon in the circle first would walk in the first run of the game, and that should have been a telltale sign of how this game was going to go. Purdue got off to a good lead. They're bringing in a lot of runs. They're not letting off the gas. Here's a homer here to make it 3-0, and things just wouldn't slow down. They kept putting in the gaps. Iowa's defense couldn't prevent anything. This one in the gap makes it 6-0. Iowa would plate one, but they would not be able to make the comeback. They leave it into the hands of Minnesota to see if they can retake the lead. All they need is a win, and they are back in 12th place and in the Big Ten tournament. So later that night, after Iowa lost, Minnesota put up 3 runs in the first inning alone. A very good start there, but they didn't score at all the rest of the game. It was the pitching and the defense that was stellar, held Northwestern the 2 runs, got the final out of the game, and they move in the 12th before Sunday. So then after splitting the first 2 games, Iowa needed to have Sunday's game versus Purdue, along with a loss from the Golden Gophers.
That's right, Colin, and DITV's Cole Krieger was in attendance for Iowa's pivotal Game 3 of the series.
The Hawkeyes look to close out their season at Bob Pearl Field on Sunday against Purdue. A win wouldn't just mean a series win, but a place in the Big Ten tournament and a proper send-off to Iowa's 5 seniors. Devin Simon got the scoring started for the Hawkeyes, running in the first run and hitting this 2-run homer to give the Hawks an early 3-0 lead through 2 innings.
We've been seeing the pitching pretty well all weekend. Stuff just wasn't falling our way yesterday. Just trusting that the game will give back to you when you hit the ball hard.
And just 2 innings later, Devin Simon did it again. Simon rolled another shot to center field for her second 2-run home run of the game, halting Purdue's comeback, making the score 5-2.
She's one that gave us a chance, put those 4 RBIs, those 2 home runs up on the board. So incredible performance by her.
Purdue would answer back with a home run of their own, plus a run to cut the lead to 2. And with runners on second and third, Soraya Nace got a key strikeout to hold the lead 5-4 for the Hawkeyes. In the 6th inning, Avery Sapp would replace Soraya Nace on the mound with runners on first, second, and third. 1-hit batter and a 2 RBI single from Purdue's Haley Painter resulted in Purdue's first lead of the game, 7-5.
We battled. There was no quit in this team. This is a resilient group, that fought through the last pitch, came up a little bit short, and obviously was a setback, but, there's full steam ahead.
But the 6th inning proved to be the nail in the coffin for the Hawkeyes as Purdue's pitching shut down the Hawkeyes in the final 2 frames and ending their season in the process. From Bob Pearl Field, Cole Krieger, DITV Sports.
Well, Colin, unfortunately, softball couldn't get the job done and misses out on postseason play. But it is that time of the year where all the spring sports are diving into playoff competition.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. We've got Ryan Parrish joining us now. Let's take a look at some possible matchups to look out for. Ryan?
Thanks, guys. Well, yeah, after losing 6-1 to Purdue on Sunday, softball team did miss the Big Ten tournament by just 1 spot, but baseball is still alive and well. So let's take a look at some of the scenarios that could play out. Now, the top 12 teams in baseball also make it just like softball. Right now, Iowa in the 8th seed with a 12-12 record in Big Ten play. Now, it is a double elimination tournament, so if you lose to Illinois up here, a team that they already just beat this weekend 2-1, it's not the end of the world. You'd still have another chance. You would just have to go through a tougher part of the bracket. Now, in that case, if they beat Illinois, they're either going to play Michigan or Washington. Then the winner of that would go play USC. So this top part of the bracket, definitely look out for. USC has some of the best pitching in the Big Ten. Mason Edwards, Grant Govil, both 2 of the best pitchers arguably in the entire conference. Then if you win that game, look out, because here comes UCLA. This team is undefeated. They just had a crazy comeback against Michigan State this weekend. I mean, it would take nothing short of divine intervention to beat this team. They are so dominant. And really, any team that does beat UCLA and wins the tournament, going to have an asterisk saying you didn't have to play UCLA at their absolute best. Now, Iowa's best chance to make a run here, going to beat Illinois, get some luck. I think they can beat any of these teams on this side. The one thing that Iowa has done a great job of this season is beating teams that are worse than them. So definitely has a chance to make that happen. It gets much trickier here. They've already lost and gotten swept by both of these Cali teams. So you're gonna need some luck there, gotta have things turn around. The pitching staff is the thing to watch out for the Hawkeyes. Now let's move over to golf, where their tournament just wrapped up. Tough break for the Hawkeyes. I'll move out of the way so you can see it, down in the 15 spot overall in the tournament. Shot plus 36 overall here. You can see their best player, Bennett Warren. It wasn't a great run for the Hawkeyes overall, though. They moved down 9 spots on the final day of that tournament. They were up and towards the top of the contention, but just couldn't put it together in the end. Back to you guys.
Well, Iowa Track and Field competed in the Musco Twilight and Desert Heat Classic this past weekend. The team took home 6 titles while securing several personal bests on Saturday night. Coralville's Musco Twilight saw freshman Isabel Evans win the 100-meter hurdle event title, clocking a 14.22. Rowan Bolter achieved a win and her personal best in the women's 3,000 meters. And hitting the field now, Bryce Ruland won a title and recorded a lifetime best 58.02 meter throw in the men's discus. Senior shot putter Wisdom Williams hit her mark of 15.37 meters, claiming a win as well.
Well, let's move on to Tucson, Arizona. Now, David ran a lifetime best as part of the Iowa men's 4x400 title victory. The 400 saw another Hawkeye have a big day as well. Tyrese Miller, 45.88 personal record, is now 10th on Iowa's all-time list. Iowa Track and Field will flock to Ames next for the Cyclone Twilight on Friday.
And now, for one last time on In the Zone this semester, I think it's time we take a look at our top 5 plays of the week.
Absolutely, we have to. It's a lot of fun, and we want to share some of our favorite plays with you. We've got the very best from Iowa baseball to Iowa softball's final home weekend series of the season. So, of course, we'll get things started with number 5, Iowa softball. It's Myers at the plate. A little dribbler back into the circle. Devin Simon caught between third and home. The throw is behind her. She goes home. You can't teach speed like that. She scores. Give Iowa the lead.
And for number 4, it's a ground ball hit to third base. Ben swales field and throws it all across the field. Caleb Wolf sitting down. Look at that flexibility, Colin.
It's a ridiculous play from Wolf. Let's keep it with Iowa baseball with that number 3. It's Iowa defense now. Matthew Delgado behind the plate. There's 2 outs, so Illinois tries a delayed steal. They've got the runner between first and second. That's designed, so they bring the runner home from third. They catch up on it. Matthew Delgado gets the out and spikes to celebrate.
And for our top 2nd play of the week, Max Burr at the plate, and look at this pounded ball for a home run. He's stepping in place for the injured Carter Jeffrey. Talk about clutch, and cleared the scoreboard. That was absolutely demolished, Colin.
Well, I like home runs. Let's keep it here. Number 1, back to Iowa softball. That's Simon at the plate. Not just 1, but 2 home runs on the day, both to dead center field. She hit some moonshots to show up in the final day of the season for Iowa softball.
Well, Colin, it was so good to do that for one last time. Yeah. Let's move over to some professional hoops. With the NBA draft coming up this June, Bennett Sturtz will likely hear his name called in the first round. But even though his college career has come to a close, there are still a lot of milestones to hit before he officially goes pro. On Saturday, the NBA announced that Sturtz was invited to the draft combine, held in Chicago from May 10th to 17th.
Yeah, he'll go through interviews, athletic testing, drills, some scrimmages with 72 other top players from college and international leagues, the lowest number actually in like forever for the NBA draft combine. But Sturtz is the only representative from Iowa, but one of 15 from the Big Ten Conference.
Well, Colin, we could definitely use him on the Portland Trailblazers this year. I know my heart was pretty crushed, and it'd be nice to get another second point guard behind Scoop.
Yeah, you guys could use a little bit of help there. I know there were some struggles there. I know we're in baseball season right now.
Yeah.
We're twinning. We're having a lot of fun with the spring sports, but I'm not having so fun with this past weekend, the Cubs overtaking the Reds.
Yep, and well, we'll get another chance here as they play each other this week, so that'll be super fun to see who wins in that one.
Absolutely, it will be. We'll be, We'll
be going at it. Me and Elise versus you.
I know. I'll keep myself calm for now after we just got swept from the Pirates, but for now, we are going to send it out. Thanks for joining us here on In the Zone. It's been fantastic giving you all the sports coverage all semester long. For Ryan Paris, Morgan Burhans, I'm Colin Critters. Again, Thank you for joining us here on DITV Sports in the Zone. We'll be back with you next semester.